What's up, everyone? Good evening. Welcome to another live stream. Sorry for the delay. I had a meeting. It's longer than expected. Well, the market, right? So let's take a look into to see where the best opportunities are for tomorrow. Again, it was another day without any kind of news event to actually affect the market. We just had the Fed meeting minutes. I haven't really read anything about it. But the big news, they start to appear tomorrow with the core CPI, right, and the normal CPI in the US. So we are going to finally have some volatility tomorrow, and then on Friday we have core PPI and GDP as well in the UK, and unemployment in Canada. So looking at the market, we had a really big momentum on the equities. Basically, S&P just broke new all-time highs. But in terms of the dollar, we finally moved away from this range, right? And as I mentioned during these last few days, or this week on Monday and yesterday, we were looking for price to continue to move to the upside. Like it looked like that price would just fake out this low, and the tendency would be to continue to be bullish, just like it. Just like it happened. Right. So again, this level can still be used in the future as a zone for a long, and this level itself, closing this gap, it can be a future target that you can look for. In here again, as we mentioned, we are looking for the dollar index to eventually get closer to this level, or even above all these highs, or even above all these highs into this level, and then eventually can even take out this high and get into there, right? Those are just a few levels in here at this point where we can expect the dollar index to have some reaction. We may have even a reaction from this level as well, since this high never really reacted from the upper supply there. So if you check a little bit more into the lower time frame, there's maybe a level in there that you can look for. So on the 30 minutes time frame, there's maybe this level in here. Aside from that, where price is reacting right now, yeah, it's around this structure, right? So it could go there. Preferably, I could see price faking out all the structure and getting into there, to be honest. But we'll see just a few levels that we can pay attention to in here on the dollar index. Again, the compression is quite strong. Again, the way price is moving to the upside, it has been in a pure compression way, which means that when it's going to turn, and I believe tomorrow we're going to have that reversal, when you're going to turn, price will actually move quite easily to pass through all these levels. All right, so as you can see, price goes up, down, up, down. You can literally just pay attention to the candles, look at how many weeks up and down, up and down, up and down, up and down. And that's basically a full compression zone in here on the dollar index. At this point, this is maybe one of the last levels, but this is already a break of that low, so it may not even hold. But because it's actually the upper edge of that bigger rectangle, maybe there's a little bit of a reaction. But my favorite is actually the zone that you mentioned yesterday. It's somewhere in here, which eventually price can react and continue to the upside from there. All right, so that's actually a potential level to pay attention to in here. At this point, you are waiting to try to see any kind of lows being broken to start opening the door for a potential turn in here, right? So most likely it's not going to happen straight away. And as we just described, there's maybe a little bit more room to the upside in here on the dollar index. So it goes out in alignment from what we have been talking about this week. Now, S&P, there you go, right? It just broke the highs. I was mentioning exactly that if you pay attention to what I described. If it was even last week or over the weekend, that I would like to see price kind of respecting these levels. So that was one of the levels that was still fresh. Price end up continue to respect these lows, attracts more liquidity into here, and all of a sudden to fake out these highs, right? So to fake out this structure in here, I'm not turning completely bullish. Yes, we just broke all-time highs in here. And it was with a lot of momentum, by looking at the way price is moving, it looks like that it's going to continue to move to the upside from here. All right, looks like that maybe does this, goes and continues, but I'm not really that bullish. That's the idea that many people can have, especially if it even closed. Yeah, it even closed above it. So many people are definitely turning bullish in here with this our candle closing above the all-time high, not just as a week, and that eventually could leave price to come back into it. Now, we don't try to guess. We actually just follow what we can see in here. We know that this is the structure basically that created this push to the upside. So that's definitely a level that needs to be broken to the downside if price by any chance has any intentions of moving to downside. Otherwise, price may just retest this level and continues to go higher. Another aspect is attention to the previous all-time high, like just looking at that previous level of support resistance. That's maybe where price can react. Now we have this level in here, but in addition to that, we also have all these highs in here, which they can also work as a level of support resistance. Basically, we have all this range in here where you can see price reacting from. So that's something to pay attention to, try to see what kind of PA around S&P we can have eventually to look for a turn or eventually to look for a continuation, right? So it's one of the two zones in here that can happen. At this point, price basically created a high and is creating a little bit of this structure. I would like to see price moving a little bit more to the upside, to be honest. And all of a sudden, this becomes a new range that eventually price needs to break. All right, so let's just rephrase a little bit this. In here, let's just leave it at 1. So let's pretend that now price actually creates this range. And this is the level. Price starts creating a new high in here. It goes a bit more to the upside. And then finally, we have the turn. And now this becomes the low that needs to be broken in here. All right, so that becomes the low. Price may break that level. Starts indicating that wants to go lower, then you can retrace something towards there, and then you can move to the downside. At least close this gap, eventually even go further down from there, right? So we are looking for that structure that's going to be created right now in here. Potentially to look for a reversal. Otherwise, price just keeps respecting and it just goes to the upside in here. Again, continuation can be from here or from there. Nasdaq is now reacting from the last high that we mentioned in here. Again, S&P already broke it. Nasdaq still has this level in there. It's already kind of initial reaction, but as you can see, look at where price is reacting, which will be the decision point created after the break of the previous structure, right? So we had all this structure in here, all these highs. Price managed to break with this decision point, basically that demand zone, broke that high as well. And that's the target, right? Price just retested target, and now it looks like more as a continuation setup in here. So at this point, we definitely need to see this level in here being broken for price to even consider moving to the downside. Otherwise, price will just continue to move upwards from where it is right now in here, right? So as long as it holds, then it can just continue to move to the downside. If it starts breaking this level in here, and it can already be an indication, but then we have this level in here, so breaking this one as well, then you start opening the door to move to the downside in here. Right, and again, as you mentioned, there's still that level on the left side where price can go further up. Like we have a more structure on the left side at the highs. So that's what we have. Again, Dow as well moving quite strongly to the upside. All right, so we have this level again. I could see Dow breaking new all-time highs as well. DAX reacted really nicely from that level, and today it was just a continuation setup. Right, it created that range, exactly the same structure. Right, it's beautiful the way it does this. Right, it starts creating a range, it breaks the highs first. So if you actually want to draw this correctly with something like this, it creates a range, all of a sudden breaks to the upside, breakouts to lows, right, breakouts to level in here, and then more reaction from that left shoulder, continues, confirmation with that break, retest, and go. All right, either retest from here or from there. This level actually can be quite interesting for price to react from. And we had this level in here, where basically price got really close to it. And now a continuation, like we talked about, that this is the level that we're looking for on the DAX in here. So initially for price to break up above these highs and start getting closer to this level in there. So that's what we have in here on the DAX. A crypto, Bitcoin, if not mistaken, is moving to the downside. Yep, just now confirming the break in here. So we kept holding this level. All right, we are looking to see potential reaction from here. The reaction kind of happened a little bit, but it never really managed to start breaking new highs. As a consequence, now we have new lows, and price can navigate more to the downside. And Ethereum must be happening similar, still actually lagging a little bit in terms of these lows, but it's quite similar as well, moving to downside. We'll see how it's going to react from this level. The indices, right? Again, we are looking for this Euro index to continue to move to the upside. At least retested a little bit of these highs. So that's all in there. Again, nothing really has changed in here. And the end pairs is exactly what we're looking for, right? So yesterday we mentioned that price had respected perfectly this supply level in here. right? And we're looking for price to fill this price in there. So now that that situation has happened, curiosity to see, or I'm curious to see how price may react from here. If this is actually now a reversal from here, or it's going to be just a continuation to the downside, right? Let's not forget that in the bigger picture, the yen index is still bearish. Price has been breaking new lows. This was just a retest into the supply level, and you may have a new low being created after that. Like if you just continue to follow this trend, with price eventually getting a little bit closer to this level in here, or even eventually closer to that level in there. But of course, we can have some reaction. This is a fresh demand zone, so we can definitely have some kind of reaction from this level. If price starts breaking, as you can see, it's kind of a little bit of a compression. If price starts breaking, eventually you can even go and retest this level in here as well. So that's going to be interesting to see in here on the end pairs. Dollar yen already broke the high. Euro yen, pound yen, and so on is still respecting the high. So that's going to be interesting to see in here with the potential PI. You may go to the upside. Looking at the individual currency pairs, like if we have euro finally moving a little bit away to this level, and now it's getting into that level that I've been waiting for eventually to look for a long, right? So I've been waiting for that. So we'll see if we're going to have any kind of PA around this structure in here for price to move upwards or not. Like we have been compressing quite a lot. Again, we have been bearish. We have been waiting for price to break below those lows. It happened today, and again retested. Really good compression all the way through again. It looks like price perhaps could start moving to the upside. It didn't, just respect to this level. So this is one of those compression basically weeks so far, and tomorrow I'm definitely expecting a reversal in here. Either reversal or continuation, like so. But that's going to be the PA that I'm going to be paying attention. Again, price can definitely just retest this level and continue to move to the downside. So even if you have a little bit of momentum here, doesn't really mean that price is just going to do something like this, and perhaps can even be more sell opportunities at around this structure as well. So let's not ignore that potential opportunity in here. All right. But at this point, definitely I'm going to be looking for some kind of PA. We do have a few zones in here on the left side. So that's going to be the opportunity I'm going to be looking for tomorrow morning around the London session. Right now, price actually kind of turning a little bit, but it's still early. I'm not going to go and trade it just yet. Pound dollar actually has been managing to hold this low. So again, the zone on the left side is quite good, to be honest. Price reacted really nicely from that structure. It could go still a little bit more to the downside. Yes, it can. I don't really like this level, to be honest. So I would like it actually to see being or breaking this structure. Now it's reacting from this level. It's been fresh out basically during our today's session. And we'll see what's going to happen here. He's still missing a proper break to the upside in here. Price basically just retested that level. So he's still missing a proper break in here, and the way it's moving, it looks like it's missing a proper move down before a push to the upside. So we'll see if that's going to happen in here on the pound dollar. And then Aussie. All right, Aussie moved a little bit more to the downside. Again, I still like the idea of Aussie actually going all the way through below this low and reacting from that level. So that would be still my idea, but now it's reacting from a demand zone and is finding some support in there, right? It's finding a little bit of buy pressure at around this level. We did manage to break above these highs. Again, it's still a lot strong compression. We do have a little bit of structure in here. Price did manage to break above this structure, but just reacted from that level. So it's not exactly an engulf to the upside that we're having here. Also, it's even retesting out this trend line all the way down. So that's interesting. Again, another break to the upside in here can start opening the door for price to go higher. That's a reality. But let's see if price may actually goes lower first before moving there, right? So I would actually like to see that move to the downside in here. But yeah, we'll pay attention to see how Aussie is going to react from it. Now it's reacting from a valid demand zone. So if it wants to go higher, perhaps it can. Personally, I'm still looking. I would love to see price actually going below this low before a massive or the bigger turn to occur in here. There, for now, there is a potential move. There is a potential move in here to the upside. So we'll see. We'll see what's going to happen in here on the Aussie dollar. Oh damn it! Don't have anything. 1 second, guys. I just realized that I'm not showing anything. All right, it should be working now. Oh, damn it. Okay, just to recap a little bit with euro dollar. Yep, that's the level. Looking for price now that's getting into that level. So that's what I wanted to say. And pound dollar as well. That's still holding that level in there. These lows. And again, it's still the same as the yesterday and Monday's move. Now that euro dollar finally moved a bit more to the downside, that's where I'm going to be looking for in here. Euro pound, I didn't really look at it. I don't even know what's doing. Yeah, just in the range in there. Aussie dollar, I'm looking for price again, as just as I mentioned, potentially start moving a bit more to the upside, but preferably I would like to see price getting closer to that zone first before moving to the upside from here. We can look at New Zealand for sure, because New Zealand had that interest rate cut, so 50 basis points from 525 to 475. So that was a good rate cut, and most likely we're going to continue to have more in the upcoming meetings. And you can see, right, you can see the compression in here. We did have a little bit of momentum to the upside, just to test at this level, and then to move to the downside. Again, we have been bearish. We've been waiting for price to break this low, then eventually to fill out this, and I'm looking for also for price to get either somewhere in there or even somewhere in here. To be honest, that may be the target, but you can have a little bit of a retracement first. Like, price is compressing so much that you can have a little bit of a reaction, and I'm looking for price to actually have some potential reaction from this level in here. Price now is reacting from somewhere in there, and then below that we go into this structure. So that's where I'm going to be looking for in here on New Zealand dollar. Again, price kept respecting the highs, even with some kind of retracements. It kept respecting. There was maybe some intraday setups in here. I'm waiting for the bigger reversal, so I'm not really getting involved just yet. Just a lot of patience at this point. Like, this requires a lot of patience, because it looks like that price may be about to turn, but then it just creates a new low. Yeah, this requires a lot of patience. That's why my recommendation is not to really to trade double bottoms in this case. All right, try to avoid to trade double bottoms, because there's always the risk of creating one last fake out before a potential move up. And if you're trying to buy double tops, most likely you're getting basically killed in here with a lot of stop losses being hit. So yeah, that's another one, and I'm really curious to see how price may approach those levels in there. Looking at the other Aussie pairs, like that was the trade yesterday we talked about on the Euro Aussie, the nice short opportunity, and price respected this level in here, right? So again, price actually broke to the upside, so this means that maybe you can continue to move higher, just a retracement into this next level, or the level that actually managed to break to the upside. So this can potentially be a continuation, but I'm really curious to see also price may react from here. I could see some selling pressure in here, and if the Aussie dollar is actually about to turn to the upside, then you could have Euro Aussie reacting from somewhere in here and potentially move to the downside, right? So we have definitely this structure in here, kind of this gap, and I'm going to try to see if there's opportunity to, or if price reacts nicely from that level and then moving to the downside. So that's something to pay attention to in here. On the Euro Aussie, Pound Aussie must be doing maybe something similar. Yeah, maybe potentially to go a little bit more to the upside. It keeps respecting these highs. I wanted to go higher. Looking at Aussie Yen, right? Again, the Yen pairs, perfect reaction is moving a bit more to the upside now. Again, I'm still looking to see eventually how price may react from this highs. I'm not really getting involved in anything in here in the middle. Nice compression, so let it continue to move like that. Then you go into the dollar yen. There you go. Dollar yen now managed to break above that high and into this high. Like we mentioned about that part, that yen index reacting from those highs, it could start getting a lot of pressure to downside, which means that this one would go to the upside. In addition to that, we also had the dollar moving to the upside. So it was a little bit of a risky setup in here when trying to sell at the highs. We needed confirmation, and that confirmation never happened. Like if we were just trying to see if price would have some kind of reaction from the highs in order to look for the sell, that never happened. Price kept respecting the trend line. There is no break of a low, and actually where price reacted from was really close to this level, and that can be enough for price to continue to move to the upside with this bullish momentum and eventually challenge these highs and get closer to this level, which is the next zone that I'm going to be looking for. It's for the dollar yen to actually go slightly higher than this and reacting a little bit from that level, and potentially we can have a little bit of sell pressure in here. Also in alignment with eventually the dollar yen also reacting a bit to the downside. So let dollar yen also go slightly higher, and we'll see how the yen index is going to react from these lows to see if there's any buy pressure in there or not. So yeah, just keep it going and not really touching this level at this point. Euro yen, as you can see, it's moving a little bit different, so it has some kind of reaction from this level, but I still want to see this was actually being broken in here, and price hasn't really managed to do that, so we react from there, reacted from the next structure, and price is just moving to the upside. I do like this this break to downside. It's a really nice clue potentially that you can have a move. Now price got really close also to this level. In here we already fake out that level, and we are still reacting from this level in here on the left side. So question mark is price going to respect something in here and move down, or is price going to go slightly higher, maybe fake out everything in here and perhaps react from that level in there and push lower, right? That's going to be a potential scenario in here on the Euro yen, where I'm going to be looking for a potential short. Yeah, so again, I still like the idea of selling at the highs. Otherwise, just wait a little bit more, look for price to fake out above this level and get into this structure in here, because that level is still fresh. The price hasn't really got to this structure in here, and that's usually a good level to look for a reaction after picking out this level. So that's something to bear in mind. We will see how this Euro yen is going to play out. But I still like the highs, to be honest. We have a break of a low, we have another break of a low, but price now is respecting this level, so we'll see how price may react from here even. Pound yen is also moving a bit more to the upside, so pound yen already reacted from this highs one time. It respected, as you can see, how this move to the upside in here on the pound yen has been with price creating new highs and higher lows, right? And we haven't really managed to break an important low during all this process. Even this level now is keep respecting, and price now is at the highs again, which means that maybe we can eventually continue and move to the upside from here. Again, from these highs, there's maybe still that level. We'll see how price may react from here. Didn't even manage to break this level neither. So we'll see. Again, potentially opportunity. It depends if the yen index actually wants to hold those lows or not. If the yen index actually wants to continue to move to the downside, then most likely you're going to have this yen pairs also moving to the upside in here and breaking structure. All right, next. We can look a little bit at CAD yen as well, which again, there's a little bit more room. Again, price respected this level just to see how price may react from there. There's perhaps a good opportunity in here to look for a potential sell, or it's going to be just a continuation to the downside. We can look at CAD, dollar CAD. Again, it's another bullish candle. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Already 6 bullish daily candles, and the last ones have been with a lot of momentum and price which will be filling all this space in here and getting closer to that level. So that's what we have in here, with price now getting a little bit closer to here. All right, so from this level, maybe can have a little bit of a sell pressure, just even through test this structure in here. Again, it's another one that has been quite compressing without managing to break any lows. We created now this structure in here. Yeah, tomorrow definitely I'm going to be looking for sales in here on the dollar CAD. It has been super bullish. If you had kind of a RSI or something like that that would look for overextension to the upside, I think we'll be able to see that. So definitely I'm going to be looking for a sell at around this structure. You can actually look a little bit in detail where maybe that can happen. I think price is going to fake out all this structure here, so everything in here is being basically compressed, and I'm looking to see how price may react from this level, otherwise from that level, and then you can even look higher. But before that, I think something in here could work. Yep, definitely. I like that idea. Yep, let's let it continue to go higher, go all the way to fake out that small high, and then you can look for the sell opportunity. And in terms of the target, again, just to test off this previous structure, I think can be a reasonable target to look for. So let price continue to compress. All right, let it create something in here during the Asian session. In here, let it compress a little bit, maybe retest a little bit more, go create some structure in here, and then tomorrow, during tomorrow's session, just do something like that, and you can feel this range, right? Just break some lows in there, and then you can have a good trade in here. Yeah, just ready to do it. Like it. Eurocad. Yeah, Eurocad has been reacting from these highs. Again, I don't like them. I want these highs to be taken, so that's what I'm waiting for. Maybe that can happen now. We'll see. So, but again, a lot of resistance at around that level. Yeah, moving along. Don't really want to be involved in that. Not at the end. Pound card. Yeah, pound card finally about to break this structure, so I wanted to go higher as well. So good reaction from this level as a continuation in here. So price reacted perfectly from those lows. Now it's moving to the upside. Initially reacted from that level, but looks like price still wants to go move a bit more to the upside. Like we are in this bullish momentum, so price may actually go a little bit more to the upside. Is there anything in here in the middle that price can still react above this structure? Perhaps there's maybe something in there that price could react. So again, it's another one to pay attention to tomorrow. But for now, we have this structure in here that's been created. So we may have this continuation as well in here after creating all this structure. May have some momentum. Like it's another one that create with a fake out, break, and then a continuation. What else do we have? Dollar franc Swiss. Like this has been the most clean setup, most basic setup as well, like in terms of textbook with the basic information. Break of trend line, break of structure, comes or test, goes again and continues to go higher, right? So this has been super obvious, the move, and looking for that continuation to the upside on dollar franc Swiss in here. Okay, so at least until the dollar index also continues to go higher, I think there's that potential for this one to continue. So we're going to be looking for that momentum. Again, it's a lot of compression on the way up, but the reality is it's creating new highs and now just broke these highs as well in here. It's about to. It hasn't really broken, but it's going to. Gold. I didn't even look at gold. And yeah, gold didn't move this today, just in this range. Just retesting this level again, looking for gold eventually to go a bit more to the downside. So that's what I'm looking for. And silver as well. I didn't really look at silver today. What's going on with silver? Yeah, it's just continuing to move to the downside. Now with that fake out, breaking out the structure, I think there's more room in here to the downside to look for. Yep. And then we have oil, right? So oil just continue to move to the downside and found now some level of support in here. Right? This is basically the decision point on the on oil. Yeah, price just found this level of support, kind of the demand zone. This was the decision point that managed to break out the structure in here. So that's normal. I'm not really looking to trade it in here, to be honest. Maybe if price comes back a little bit more in here, can use this level. You can find some more buy pressure in there. Otherwise, just the extreme. Like that was the setup that we looked at 2 days ago. Sell opportunity. Unfortunately, it was overnight, and the big move to downside in here on oil. What's up, Abhishek? How are you, man? Welcome to the stream. How are you doing? Yeah, it's just moving. Yeah, I'm not really interested. It's a good level of structure. 71, almost $72 mark. Brent, it was similar, also reacting from that level. Again, I wanted a little bit more to the upside, and I still like the idea of potentially look for those sells in there. So I'm not going to disregard that scenario. Yeah, we'll see. Actually, I like this level. I like that level. Those are basically my favorite ones. All right. Yeah. Anything in particular that you are looking for, Abdish? Yeah, today it was a quick stream. Again, this week has been quiet because of the lack of red news events. Finally, euro dollar is approaching the level that I've been waiting for. Dollar index, the same thing. VIX also is moving quite. It's moving to the upside in here, showing the increase of volatility and uncertainty in the market. It's interesting that VIX is moving higher while S&P is breaking new all-time highs. It's an interesting one. Yeah, so just to recap in terms of what we looked at today during the live stream and in terms of where do I see the best opportunities for tomorrow trading session. Tomorrow that we finally have a red news event, we have CPI in the US, even though at this point I don't really think the CPI is a key factor that's going to change the Fed's mind in terms of what they're going to do in terms of interest rate. Curious enough, we have seen an increase in interest rate, the odds for remaining the same, where it was 0 basically 1 week ago or something like that. Now it's at 25%, 75% for a 25 basis point. So in terms of the dollar, we finally have that move to the upside. We've been looking for that. We've been looking for eventually the dollar to get closer to this level in there. So we have that scenario. We talked about this fake out, leaving the gap for the future and moving to the upside in here. And tomorrow I'm going to be looking for sales. I just want to see dollar index getting a little bit more to the upside, and then I'm going to be looking for opportunities to short the dollar, which means looking for longs on the euro dollar that is finally approaching the level that we have been waiting for as well. So euro dollar, pound dollar, Aussie dollar, which also made a strong move, New Zealand dollar as well, which we had the 50 basis points rate cut this today from 525 to 475 interest rate. So yes, I'm going to be looking for that. Dollar CAD as well, I'm going to be looking for shorts as it continues to move higher. So we have at this point 6 daily bullish candles. So there's a lot of momentum, bullish momentum on the dollar CAD. So I'm going to be looking for some weakness tomorrow. Now that price also is approaching an interesting level on the left side. It's just a retracement. I'm not looking for a big reversal. Okay, it's just a intraday move unless price starts evolving even more. Looking at US indices, we had now S&P breaking new all-time highs, so that's interesting, and we predicted or tried to see what's next, what can expect next from the US indices. Is this just a fake out, or is going to be a momentum setup on the S&P? We have Nasdaq getting really close as well to the previous high. Again, on Nasdaq, there's still a lot of space for price to move a little bit more to the upside until we finally have any new all-time highs. So that's going to be interesting. I could see Nasdaq going a little bit more to the upside as well, potentially moving to the downside, and Dow Jones as well about to break all-time highs. I'm expecting those all-time highs to be broken. On the DAX, we had the continuation to the upside, so that's something that we looked at as well, and we are looking to see how price may react from these highs. But because price respected the lows, we may actually eventually challenge and go for all-time highs. But there's definitely still orders at these highs that we're going to be able to look at, and with some good PI, maybe we can look for shorts in here. The N pairs as well, we looked for that. So yesterday you mentioned that we're looking for price to fill out this price, the N index, which means that we will see some strength on the euro yen, dollar yen, pound yen, and so on. And now the question mark is, are we going to test this or respect this low and move a little bit more to the upside, or are we going to just continue this bearish momentum that we had in here on the N index, and eventually the N index can get a little bit closer to this level? If that happens, then you have a bullish momentum, and eventually euro yen, pound yen, and so on potentially getting or breaking the highs that they are respecting at this point. Dollar yen already broke the high. One asset that has been moving really nicely. One asset that has been moving really nicely, it has been dollar franc Swiss, which is creating that momentum to the upside after moving away from that range. It broke the trend line, it broke the highs, retested trend line. It's just a clean textbook setup that everyone learns about it, with the break of a trend line, retest, and just momentum to the upside. right? Gold hasn't really moved. And in terms of oil, something that we looked at as well. So continuation a little bit to the downside. Today it found some support level, but it's still a little bit in the middle. I'm going to be waiting for oil to get a bit closer to the extremes, either at the lows or at the highs. So that's going to be my take. Tomorrow I'm going to be looking for shorts on the dollar. I want to see dollar going a little bit more to the upside, but then shorts, which means longs on the euro dollar, pound dollar, New Zealand, Aussie, and so on, and shorts on dollar CAD as well. And I'll be paying attention as well for the at the end pairs, and potentially on the S&P if I see some weakness in there, Nasdaq as well. So yeah, that's my take. Good luck. I'll see you. Okay, 1 second. Check gold. Groove is telling me to check gold. What's up, man? How are you? And what's your take on gold? Gold. So gold has filled the space that we had in here. All right, so when it started to break those lows, we're looking for price to fill this space. There's a little bit of a gap in there, and I'm looking for price to go either there or there, and eventually could even go in here. I could see some buys around this level if price does want to hold in there, and then we have a little bit in here. Otherwise, if price doesn't really respect this level, may just respect and go. All right, maybe that can be the trade only. It doesn't mean that price wants to go higher. I could see some just that reaction from here to here, and then potentially some reaction from that level, and from here then price could actually target those lows and get into this structure in here. Looking for any sells, we do have somewhere at around this structure, and then even the highs. So yeah, I'm not going to be looking for anything else aside from that in here. Is this the high? I'm expecting this to be the top on gold. Perhaps for now that can happen. We're going to have a bit more of a retracement from here. We'll see. At this point, I'm expecting these lows to be broken. That's the first one. All right, so I'm expecting these lows to be broken and price to get closer to this level. So I wouldn't be looking for any longs until these lows are broken in here. The rest is just a few levels that you could see price reacting from. To be honest. What's your take, Groove? Are you still there? Yeah. All right, so yeah, that's it. That's it for me. That's definitely it for me. Not sure if you're still there or not, so that's it. I was about to finish the stream. So thank you guys. I'll see you tomorrow.